We have a motion to approve. Second it. Second from Mr. Cash. All in favor of approving the agenda, please signal by saying aye. Aye opposed? Okay, passed unanimously. When we approved the agenda, we also approved our consent agenda at this time, and we approved the school board meeting minutes from November 27th, and we approved on second reading board policy 1.403 board meeting agendas and 4.8011 on dissection. We also approved the recommendation for our field trip fee requests. The next item is public interest, public comment. We have one speaker. We have Kel McDaniel with us. Mr. McDaniel, if you come to the podium.
I'm Kel McDowell. I recently joined the team at Williamson, Inc., the Chamber, as Director of Government Affairs. I've been fortunate to meet some of you. Others I look forward to meeting here soon. But in general, I just look forward to working together and learning a bit from you and your efforts with Williamson County Schools, and want to thank you for all you do. Again, just look forward to meeting all of you, and thanks for having me tonight.
Thank you. Okay, next item is communications to the board. Dr. Looney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board members, good to see you on this wintry mix evening. My comments, aside from recognizing some students and staff, I want to speak a little bit to the week that we've had and the inclement weather. I do want to just pause for a moment and thank all of the staff members who have gone above and beyond to try to get our campuses and our buses and all that sort of thing ready for school. As you know, there's still a number of roads in Williamson County that are not passable, or at least treacherous, that would warrant us to have concerns about buses. And I'll ask Mr. Golden to speak to that in just a minute. But just in case you haven't read the messages or didn't receive it, we're not going to be open for school tomorrow. We have made one change after consultation with Mr. Anderson. Our SAC sites that we opened for extended care, we are also going to provide meals for students at those locations. And a student doesn't necessarily have to go to the school, the SAC location, in order to get the meal. They can use their traditional lunch number at any of the locations, so that we can make sure that the students that need food on these types of days will have a way to get it, have access to it. With that being said, Mr. Golden, you might want to brief the board a little bit more detail about what we've been doing and where we are.
Thank you, Dr. Luna. I did want to add one little bit about the school-age child care sites and food. We're also providing breakfast at those sites, breakfast and lunch. So for any students and their parents or guardians, if they'd like to come tomorrow. And long-term, we do intend to make that part of the services we offer on inclement weather days as well, on those days when our SAC sites are open. From a practical standpoint, we've really agonized over this inclement weather event. Some of you may notice that a number of the media outlets asked us for some information related to our process. They spent some time with us on a school bus. We got about a quarter of a mile out of the transportation lot before we hit a road. It was virtually impassable yesterday afternoon. The sun really made a big difference today. And we spent a lot of time going over the roads. Many of our bus drivers drove up all or portions of their routes, either in their personal vehicle or actually in buses, to see if it was possible to go through all the neighborhoods. The short answer was, ultimately, we had many, many neighborhoods where it was just impassable for buses. The big issues that transportation we're looking at were slopes in neighborhoods at stop signs, where once a bus stopped, it was going to have a very difficult time getting going again. And likewise, if they were on a downward slope with a stop sign, they were very nervous about that. I actually pulled up some local media sites. One of them reports 94 closings already again for tomorrow. So basically all of Middle Tennessee is closed again. So I suspect there are many administrators throughout Middle Tennessee who went through the same process as us. And the odd thing to us, and it's pretty unique in my experience, virtually every main road, even many of our country roads, are pretty much okay. But the areas in the neighborhoods are where it still is very difficult for buses. Dr. Looney?
And I'll just add, board members, you may not know this number, but we have approximately 150 students that qualify for homeless in our district. And so one of the reasons we agonize so greatly is I truly am gravely concerned for their welfare when we don't have school, when they count on heated buildings and warm food and caring adults to see after them. So when we don't have school, those students are at greater risk, and that's why we struggle so much with balancing the needs of those kinds of students with the needs of making sure that all of the roads, or as many of the roads in Williamson County, are passable for buses. So it's a difficult process to go through, but I think we made the right decision in this case. You will notice in your email box, likely as I have, our parents are less happy about us not having school tomorrow than the students, but that's just the way it goes. So I apologize, parents, and congratulations, students. With that being said, Mrs. Birdsong, if you'll come forward.
Thank you, Dr. Looney. In case anyone needs to remember our vision, here it is. And now we will celebrate some students. We would have been celebrating some perfect ACT students, but because of the weather, we are going to wait until your February board meeting, and so we can have them here in person and honor them. So we are going to celebrate students who have achieved recognition in the arts tonight. And we are going to start at Page High School with Connor Flatt. He was named to the All-State Band in grades 9 through 12. Michael Rawson is his band director. All-State Band in grades 11 through 12 from Brentwood High School, Meredith Sparks and Jessica Cortez. Randy Box is their band director. From Centennial High School, this is Anna Cawthorn, again, All-State Band, grades 11-12. Scott Miller, her band director. From Franklin High School, we have Sarah Lee, Ken Yamamoto, Jason Frazier, and Jordan Hafner. David Adelot and Jacob Campos, their directors. And in grades 11-12, All-State Band from Page High School, Nathan Monk. Again, Michael Rawson, his band director. In grades 11 and 12 from Ravenwood, Stacy Chang, Mark Kinzer, and Brant Pondexter, band directors. And from Brentwood High School, this is All-State Orchestra, grades 9 through 11. Bright Johnston, Emma Curtis, Luana Atkinson, Andrew O'Keefe, their orchestra conductor. And grades 9 through 11 in Franklin is David Shue, David Adelot, and Jacob Campos again. At Ravenwood High School, Selena Wang and Kristen Lee, grades 9 through 11. Cassandra Brosvik, their orchestra conductor. And from Brentwood High School, All-State Orchestra, grades 11 and 12, Michaela Fetters, Katie Rose Bennett, Brooke Ninakart, and Chandler Hart. Andrew O'Keefe is their conductor. All-State Orchestra, grades 11 and 12 from Franklin, Bronner McCoy and Sarah Shue, David Adelot, and Jacob Campos again. And last but not least, from Ravenwood High School, Daya Mitra, Katie Davis, Andrea Hung, Brendan Goodbread, Cassandra Brosvik, their conductor. And now for staff spotlights. We had 5 teachers who earned National Board certification. Suzanne Edward from Allendale and Scales Elementary Schools. Lindsay Whitmire, Brentwood High School. Susanna Singleton, Centennial High School. Jennifer Helm, Independence High School. And Andrea Reeder, Independence High School. Congratulations to all of our students and staff.
Dr. Looney, anything else?
No, sir, that completes my report.
Any questions for Dr. Looney? Okay, I see none. The next item is the board chairman's report, and I just wanted to say the graduation dates have been released. Rebecca has sent those out. She said she'll be following up with us to see when we can attend which graduations we want to attend. And don't forget your conflict of interest statement that it was sent to you by the state. If you're an elected official, every year you have to fill those out in January. Don't forget that. There's a hefty fine if you don't do it, so I don't want you to be fined. And your TSBA trainings, don't forget to sign up for your TSBA trainings for this year. There's also penalties on the district if we don't do that, so appreciate that. Anyone have any questions for me? One other thing is we're going to be talking about the evaluation. I really appreciate that all 12 board members did do Dr. Looney's evaluation. I think that's great. and it gives us a good feel for how the board feels about the performance of Dr. Looney. So we'll moving on to new business. We have the first item is 2017-18 school board budget, general purpose school fund amendment, Fairview High School press box. Dr. Looney.
Mr. Chairman, board members, I do recommend approval of this budget amendment.
Anyone like to make a motion? We have a motion for Ms. Durham. Anyone like to second that? A second for Ms. Emerson. Any comments or questions, discussions on this? We have the superintendent's recommendation. Okay, I see none. If you'd go ahead then and record your votes, please.
Your vote is 12 yes, 0 no.
Thank you, board. Next item is the board evaluation of the superintendent. As I mentioned earlier, we all have filled out that evaluation. The information is provided in your board packet. What we've done traditionally on this is we've taken one vote to basically put it in the minutes of the meeting that we support the findings of the evaluation. So if that is the will of the board, if someone would make a motion to that effect to accept the findings of this. Ms. Cleveland with a motion, seconded, and Ms. Garrett seconded. We have a motion and a second to accept the results of the evaluation instrument. Any comments, discussions, questions? Okay, Dr. Looney, would you like to make a recommendation, or would you like to pass on this one?
No, sir, I'll pass, but when I have an opportunity, I'll make a comment or two.
Okay, then we'll come back to you in a minute. All right, if you'd go ahead then and record your vote on accepting this as the official evaluation of Dr. Looney by the board.
Your vote is 12 yes, 0 no.
Thank you, board. Dr. Looney, would you like to speak to that at this point?
Yes, sir. Thank you, board members, for participating and giving me feedback about my performance. I never have claimed to be a perfect administrator. I always have room to grow. I'm particularly proud of the work that we have done together as collectively as both a body, but also as our employees have done. I have always said that the superintendent's evaluation is really an affirmation of the work of the employees in our district. And as you know, we have approaching 6,000 total employees. We're the largest employer in Williamson County. And so thank you for your feedback. I want to encourage you to always feel free to come to me and talk to me personally and often about my performance, as I cherish your feedback. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Wimberly, did you want to speak to this?
Yes, I did. I think it would be worthwhile for us to share here publicly what the evaluation was. And I'm sorry I don't have it in front of me, but I do recall that out of a scale of 0 to 5, it was pretty dadgum close to a 5.
Let's see. I have it here in front of me. The overall evaluation, with a 5 being the highest score, exemplary, 4 being excelling, 3 satisfactory, 2 improving, and 1 unsatisfactory. Dr. Looney's overall rating as superintendent of schools for Williamson County was a 4.64%. I think that is just outstanding. Outstanding.
Here,
here. All right. Thank you very much, board. The next item we have up is on our annual agenda. It calls for the superintendent contract review and extension during this month. So now that we've done our evaluation, then we are to look at Dr. Looney's contract, and if we want to extend it or not extend it, that of course is the option of the board. So at this point, it's open if anyone would like to make a motion or recommendation for anything after the evaluation instrument.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we vote tonight to extend Dr. Looney's contract to January 17, 2022. Under state law, we are allowed to have a school superintendent under contract for no more than 4 years, and this puts us right at the 4-year mark. And to add to that, obviously, we believe that Dr. Looney's done a great job. But I think that one of the reasons I make this motion out of enthusiasm is I believe that we've got some significant challenges ahead of us. We have a strategic plan that is very aggressive, and we have probably unprecedented financial challenges in front of us. And in addition to the fact that he's done a good job in his tenure here, I believe that he is up for the challenge for us dealing with these serious problems and challenges that we have ahead.
Okay, so we have a motion to extend the contract, as he has stated, to January 17th, 2022. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Anyone like to second that? Mr. Welch, second the motion. Any discussion? Mr. Cash. You're on. Here. Use one of the other ones. Use either Elliot's or Angela's.
The lights are out. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. But, Mike, it's not only the challenges we have ahead of us, but what I look at in an evaluation like this is, you know, your dedication to your staff, principals, teachers, parents, and most of all the kids is just second to none. And I really appreciate that, and I know so many parents and your staff and everyone does appreciate that. So thank you, sir. I appreciate you.
Anyone else like to say anything? Okay, Dr. Looney, if the board approves this, are you willing to accept this?
Yes, sir. I would be humbled to continue working for you.
Thank you, sir. All right, board, no further discussion. If you go ahead and record your vote.
Your vote is 12 yes, 0 no.
All right, thank you. Congratulations, Dr. Looney.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, the next item we have is 2017-2018 board meeting schedule revision for May. We've had some conflicts with graduations, so Dr. Looney, if you'd go ahead and explain this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board members, as you have been informed, we have a conflict with graduations and the access that we traditionally have with the Ag Center because of the rodeo. So that creates a need to both move venues and also graduation dates. We're proposing that we not move the graduation dates from where they're posted, but rather move the meeting date that we have. And so I thought we would put the kids first. So with your permission, we have changed the calendar for your meeting.
Okay, board, we do need to vote on the calendar since it is ours. Anyone like to make a motion? Ms. Emerson, make a motion. Anyone like to second it? A second from Mr. Mitchell. Any further comments, discussions? Okay, I see none. If you go ahead and record your votes then.
Your vote is 12 yes, 0 no.
All right, thank you, board. Our next item is 4.406P, acceptable use and internet safety agreement for students. It's an annual agenda item. Dr. Looney?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board members, I do recommend approval after our debate.
Okay, anyone like to make a motion on this one? We have Ms. Emerson with a motion, second by Mr. Hoff. Anybody else would like to make a comment or question or discussion? Okay, we have the superintendent's recommendation. If you go ahead then and record your votes, please.
Your vote is 12 yes, 0 no.
Thank you. The next item is 5.404P, acceptable use and internet safety agreement for employees. It's an annual agenda item. Dr. Looney?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board members, I too recommend approval of this item.
Anyone like to make a motion on this one? Mr. Cash, make a motion. Anyone like to second it? We have a second from Ms. Cleveland. Any discussion on this one? Mr. Mitchell?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do we have any type of training that we put forth for employees around acceptable use of media and technology equipment relative to this
Yes, sir. It's
particular?
part of our annual training regime.
Okay, so there, every teacher goes, is reviewed annually on
Yes,
this?
sir, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
And are required to sign the document.
Okay. Anyone else like to speak to this item? Okay, I see none. We have the superintendent's recommendation. If you'd go ahead and record your votes.
Your vote is 12 yes, 0 no.
Okay, thank you, board. Dr. Looney, it looks like we're at the end of this.
Mr. Chairman, I think this is the shortest board meeting we've ever had.
Well, board members, if you're not negative about us leaving now, we go ahead and call this meeting adjourned. We good? All right, this meeting is. Oh, what, Nancy? You are welcome to stay as long as you want. All right, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.